Donald Trump is off to a terrible Monday morning. He is currently on social media, frenzied and panicked. He's posting letters to countries that he couldn't do a deal with, like Japan and South Korea, and basically couldn't do a deal with any country at all. And he's telling them that your deal is that you will be subject to 25% tariffs, but they will start on August 1st. That's the new deadline, not 90 deals in 90 days, and they must be completed by July 9th, August 1st. So here are the letters that Donald Trump is sending to countries across the world right now, since he couldn't do deals. This is so embarrassing. There's like random words that are capitalized, like trade. And here's like the letter to Prime Minister Ashiba of Japan. Trump goes, "It is a great honor for me to send to you this letter, in that it demonstrates the strength and commitment of our trading relationship and the fact that the United States of America has agreed to continue working with Japan despite having a significant trade deficit with your country. Nevertheless, we have decided to move forward with you, but only with more balanced and fair trade." And trade is randomly capitalized. "Therefore, we invite you to participate in the extraordinary economy of the United States, the #1 market in the world by far. We have had years to discuss our trading relationship with Japan and have concluded that we must move away from these long-term and very persistent trade deficits engendered by Japan's tariff and non-tariff policies and trade barriers. Our relationship has been unfortunately far from reciprocal. Starting on August 1, 2025, we will charge Japan a tariff of only 25% on any and all Japanese products sent into the United States, separate from all sectoral tariffs. Goods transshipped to evade a higher tariff will be subject to that higher tariff. Please understand the 25% number is far less than what is needed to eliminate the trade deficit disparity we have with your country. As you are aware, there will be no tariff if Japan or companies within your country decide to build or manufacture products within the United States. And in fact, we will do everything possible to get approvals quickly, professionally and routinely. In other words, in a matter of weeks. This is why you can't do a deal with the Trump regime. Fundamentally, they don't understand trade, or they do, and they're just utterly malicious. And I think it's both. Again, the Trump regime keeps claiming that trade deficits with a country are a form of a tariff against the United States, which they are not. And Donald, you negotiated the last deal with Japan during your first term in 2019, which you are now breaching. And this is the letter you're sending out to all these countries. I don't even know how to describe this. It looks like a fourth grader was given the assignment of build your own fantasy hotel and invite people to join your magical kingdom and tell people what they should do to join. Who writes a letter like this? This is way more embarrassing than, no offense to the fourth graders in my hypothetical, but Trump sent a letter like that to South Korea. Imagine being a nation and getting a letter like that and looking at your ministers and saying, what the hell is going on? Who are these people? This is the stupidest letter I've ever seen. Switching gears for a moment, the death toll in Texas, in the Kerr County and surrounding areas, has now exceeded 80, with a number of people still missing. A horrible, tragic, catastrophic flash flood in Kerr County and in the surrounding areas from the Guadalupe River. We're, of course, now learning that the National Weather Service had cut or pushed out the key meteorologist coordinators there. Some of the key personnel were pushed out by DOGE, and the coordination between the feds and the state and local officials after it was clear that there would be flash floods taking place was something that is clearly problematic, to say the least. But what is Homeland Security Secretary Kristi Noem, who is supposed to be the one in charge of FEMA? Ultimately, the buck stops with Kristi Noem. She and Donald Trump and others in the regime have called for the elimination of FEMA and that everything should be dealt with just by the states. And then the feds may help out a little bit, but this should all be dealt with by the states when that's not the way disaster emergency relief works. Kristi Noem is asking her followers, this is real, on Instagram, what her official governor portrait should be right now, while there are young girls still missing in Texas. And so she's doing a poll on Instagram. Official governor's portrait number 1. Should I pick this one? Should I go with Miss Blondie number 2? Or how about Iceman number 3? What is wrong with this person? What the hell is that? And meanwhile, what was Donald Trump doing this weekend? We know he was golfing for most of the weekend on the taxpayer dime. But we also now have photos of Donald Trump and videos of Donald Trump just hanging out, chilling, partying, licking ice cream in a disgusting, I don't even know who licks ice cream cones like that. How utterly disgusting is that? Oh, and also more photos emerging from inside the White House of what the kind of the portrait area looks like, where Donald Trump has put his photo, this bizarre photo of him, a tacky photo of himself and his face as the American flag in the First Lady portrait section between Hillary Clinton and between George W. What in the world are we even looking at right there? So strange. Dan Coe, who was in the Biden administration, posted a bunch of photos saying, this is Joe Biden and Kamala Harris during hurricane season last year, ensuring every resource was mobilized and thanking the exhausted staff of FEMA. Crisis leadership should look like this no matter what party, not out golfing and licking ice cream on ice cream cones. That's not what, and the thing is too, and I hear there are some people saying, look, the National Weather Service did predict flash floods, and they did say that there could be an emergency. Well, first off, they did not predict the level of rain and the types of flash flood severity that there was. But it's not what this job is about is not just the National Weather Service just saying, hey, everybody, there's going to be a bad storm and posting it online. The moment you know there's going to be a potentially catastrophic storm, you know what the feds are supposed to do? Take charge. The feds are supposed to be the leaders. States don't do this stuff. You may go, well, the states should do this. That's not what the states do. The states have always relied on the feds to lead these joint task force and to get the personnel in place and to start the evacuations, to put boots on the ground, to pre-position people right away. You don't just push that to the states. What the feds don't do is just an after-the-fact assessment. Oh, let us fill in the gaps. The feds are supposed to be proactive during all of this, which is not what happened here. I think that point gets missed a lot. Finally, we've also learned about the DOJ memo that's going out now saying that there is no such thing as the Epstein list. That's what they're saying now. The Epstein list is not real, that Jeffrey Epstein never kept a list to blackmail rich men, despite the fact that multiple times the Trump regime has said there is a list. It was on Pam Bondi's desk, the list, along with the files. They were going to release it. They just said they were working on the format, and now they claim there is no list at all. Here's the memo. We've got our hands on it. According to the DOJ FBI memo, the systematic review revealed no incriminating client list. There was also no credible evidence found that Epstein blackmailed prominent individuals as part of his actions. We did not uncover evidence that could predicate an investigation against uncharged third parties. Literally, that's what you've been saying for the past 4 years. And even while you were in power, you had the influencers show up. You said, this is the Epstein files. Phase 1, you were called out that this was stuff that was released before. You said there was a list. You said there were the files. You said that there were rich men on it. And now you say, oh, it doesn't exist because Donald Trump was on it. Donald Trump is all over the Epstein files. We know it because The files that have been released, Trump's name is all over those. And I've went through I've done so many videos on this, the deposition transcripts, the call logs, the flight logs. Trump said Epstein's a great guy who likes women on the younger side. They partied together. Virginia Giuffre, who died by suicide recently. She was an underage girl. She was trafficked from Mar-a-Lago. That's where Ghislaine Maxwell found her. Donald Trump wished Ghislaine Maxwell well. I could go on and give you hundreds of links right here, but you get the point. Elon Musk is posting, what's the time? Oh, look, it's no one has been arrested o'clock again on the official Jeffrey Epstein pedophile arrest counter. Elon Musk then posts the following, mocking the Trump regime. We will release the Epstein list. We just need more time. The Epstein list is on my desk. There is no Epstein list. That's what the Trump regime is saying right now. Brazil's ministers are saying also, what the hell is the U.S. doing? If the U.S. is going to put these tariffs on Brazil, they're going to be shooting themselves in the foot. Brazil runs a trade deficit with the United States, to which Donald Trump responded. He posted it this morning. Brazil is doing a terrible thing on their treatment of former President Jair Bolsonaro. I've watched, as has the world, as they have done nothing but come after him day after day, night after night, month after month. He is not guilty. And then Donald Trump goes and says how the U.S. is the hottest in the world. Leave Bolsonaro alone. What the hell are you doing? You know how stupid you make in the United States? You know how humiliating this is for the United States right now? And as you're posting messages like that and you're licking stupid ice cream cones and you have Kristi Noem posting, should I be the Blondie portrait? As you're all doing that, you realize that Vladimir Putin has escalated his attacks on innocent civilians in Ukraine. Again, we've learned 11 dead, 80 injured in Russian attacks. Since Donald Trump spoke to Vladimir Putin, Putin has escalated things even more while bragging that he wants to make movies and TV shows and songs with Donald Trump. Just so you all know what Donald Trump's doing, he's just creating distractions and delaying as he's moving the United States outside of NATO and the G7 to make alliances with Putin right now. That's what Trump always wanted to do. That's what he's doing. And Putin took the phone call with Donald Trump and basically said, I'm going to escalate. Trump seems to have given him the green light for that. Let me just share this with you as well. This was from earlier this morning. Peter Navarro, one of Donald Trump's top representatives, on with Carl Quintanilla here. And Quintanilla says, so you didn't do 90 deals in 90 days. Was that aspirational? Watch Navarro's response. Let's play it.
I've always wanted to ask you for the last 90 days about your comment on April 7th when you said 90 deals were possible in 90 days. We're almost up. And I just wonder, was your thinking at the time that it really was an aspirational number, or are you kind of disappointed in two for now?
I'm happy with the progress we've had because every country that we run a major deficit with is fully engaged. I think what we're learning from the negotiations is simply, Carl, how difficult it is for these countries to give up the advantage they have over us. And so therein lies the tale. I think the negotiations are proceeding well. And by the way, the tariff revenues are coming in and really helping this country.
And finally, you have Kristi Noem blaming Biden and past technology for the National Weather Service and NOAA, the National Oceanic and Atmospheric Administration, not doing its job the right way. You're blaming Biden and old technology instead of the cuts that things were working fine under Biden, but you're blaming, it's just so despicable. While she's posting, what should my portrait be here? Watch this.
But frankly, the National Weather Service under President Trump has been working to put in new technology and a new system because it's been neglected for years. It's an ancient system that needed to be upgraded. And so President Trump recognized that right away and got to work on it when he came into office in January. But that installation is not complete and that technology isn't fully installed, but the alerts went out. We can continue to learn from every single situation, but know that during these times when we are trying to help people heal from situations like this, the best thing to do is to look and see how we can help and how we can walk alongside people and get them some relief. Make sure that we're doing all that we can to be more proactive in the future, but get through this terrible time right now as well.
Sure. But it was.
Anyway, there you have it, folks. Let me know what you think. Hit subscribe. Let's get to 6 million subscribers. Thanks for watching.
Can't get enough Meidas? Check out the Meidas Plus Substack for ad-free articles, reports, podcasts, daily recaps from Ron Filipkowski, and more. Sign up for free now at MeidasPlus.com.